Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I could not be any more grateful. We had our Friday night crosstalk meeting the other night, and if you're familiar with with Friday crosstalk, you understand how it works. Folks come in, and we give them an opportunity to ask questions, to gain insight, understanding, and more information into topics that are important and relevant to them in their personal recovery journey. And we try to discuss those topics throughout the course of the 1-hour crosstalk meeting. There are times and instances where we have more topics than we have time to discuss those topics. And so what we try to do here, Deb, Dren, and myself, we try to take these topics and bring them back here to you to discuss on the Recovery Classroom morning monologues. Now, let me say this, and I think I can speak for Deb and Drinda as well. None of us have PhDs after our names. We're not scientific experts in anything, in any way, shape, or form, other than we're experts in the ability to screw up our own personal lives. And that's why we thank God for the program known as Alcoholics Anonymous. So we're just trying to share our thoughts, opinions, and insights and our own perspectives, and really our own experience on these topics. And a topic came in Friday night, I said, I want to talk about that. It was the topic of codependency. Matter of fact, I was talking with an individual, I made that comment to an individual, and they said, well, yeah, I want to hear what you have to say on codependency because I'm codependent upon my spouse. I said, in what way? How are you codependent? They said, well, I rely upon my spouse to pay all my bills. I said, well, that's not codependency. That's financial dependency. There's a big difference. Codependency is when you're relying upon your spouse or another human being to fill that void in your heart that you yourself can't fill. And what I mean by that is, I'm sharing from my own personal experience here, at one point in time in my alcoholism, I didn't feel worthy at all. I didn't feel like I deserved to be loved. I didn't feel like I had any self-value, self-worth, self-respect, self-dignity. I didn't feel like I was worth anything. And so what I would do is I would seek out other people, my wife specifically, to fill that void that I couldn't fill myself. Whenever we're seeking another human being to do the very thing that we ourselves cannot do, how do you think that's going to end? And there's a couple of different ways you can look at codependency. You can look at it through a romantic perspective. And I can't tell you the number of people that I've talked to and they've said, well, I can't get clean and sober because Billy broke up with me. Have you ever stopped to think that maybe Billy is the reason why you're not clean and sober? See, we're focusing on other people. We're putting our reliance and our own self-affirmations on hanging that on other people. And in some cases, that other person may have no idea that we're relying upon them to fill that void in our own hearts. Codependency is something that we see on a regular basis. Again, when we go into treatment facilities, when we just talk one-on-one with folks. And it's something that I can't, again, speak for Deb or Dren or anyone else. It's something I think we all might have experienced to some degree or another. I used to want to hang out with the cool kids club because I wanted to be cool because I didn't feel cool myself. Maybe if I hung out with other human beings who made me feel good about me, maybe I would start feeling good about me. I go back to what Bill Wilson wrote in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. He says clearly, we don't have a drinking problem, we have a thinking problem. Our alcoholism, our drug addiction, it's but a symptom. The real problem is what we think. And when it comes to codependency, the bigger problem is what we think of ourselves. See, we're drinking and drugging. We're putting all these foreign substances into our body because we don't know how to love ourselves. And at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. I was in a room early in my sobriety, well, about a year in my sobriety, when I finally heard somebody so succinctly summarize the point of recovery. Recovery is not about getting clean and sober. Recovery is about learning to love myself enough to where I stop wanting to hurt myself. I hated the person I had become. I hated the fact I had allowed myself to become the person that I had become. I forgot how to love myself, and so I became codependent on other people to fill that void that I myself was the one who created. And in my journey through recovery, I realized the mistake. I realized what I was doing. I was harming myself by pouring booze down my throat night after night, day after day, hour after hour, because I didn't love myself, and so I was wanting to punish myself. Stop punishing yourself. Stop hanging your self-value and self-worth on other people. Another human being, myself included, we can let you down. And what happens whenever I let you down or another human being lets you down? Well, gosh, that could send you back out, and that's the last thing anyone wants. Stop believing the lie that you're not worth it, because I'm here to tell you, you are. I found out in my pathway, in my journey through recovery, I found out that I was worth it, that I could love myself. I could get to know who I was as a person because I'd forgotten. I could start filling that void with a spiritual connection that I was able to initiate with the program of action known as Alcoholics Anonymous. So, with that being said, I'm out of time. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I could not be any more appreciative. If there's a topic you'd like to hear discussed, feel free to drop it into the Recovery Classroom messenger group. We'll take a look at it. Myself, Deb, Drenda, any one of us there in the Recovery Classroom, we'll see what we can do. We'll be talking again soon, guys. Remember, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.